Saira, why does a noble being or any good-hearted human being gets humiliated or hurt by the actions or words of others for no fault of him? Why does this happen at all to a pure soul? Does he have to accept this as his karma and continue to suffer endlessly? Because anything and everything that happens to us, karma theory seems to be the only answer. So he has to accept and cry forever, carry on that hurt feeling forever. Is there any way to get out of this? We are going to address to these questions today in this brief satsang. An author says, suppose we buy a juicy red apple. We are all excited for that sweet deliciousness. But when we take a bite and suppose we find a little worm crawling inside, what is your initial reaction? How do you feel? If you judge that worm as harmful or bad, you are missing the bigger picture. That worm is just doing what worms do, eating the apple. It is its habit to eat apple. It is eating. Same goes for apple, the author says. Same goes for people, the author says. They do what they do because that is just who they are and how they have learned to deal with life. Like this little worm, they are trying their best to survive, to to get recognition, to be in power, and to be happy. How people treat you is their karma. How you react to their treating you is your karma. Is your karma means it might add to your karma in a certain situation. We will address this. In what situations your reaction will add to your karma. When you take others' actions seriously and get hurt, then you are placing them in a prison in your mind, and you are also imprisoned in the same prison in your mind. Someone said these two, three lines which is coming up, this is the mantra for practically existing in our life till death. How people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours. With everything that has happened to you, you can either feel sorry for yourself or treat what has happened as a gift. Everything is an either an opportunity to grow or an obstacle to keep you from growing. You choose which way you want to go. These lines are reading and listening, worth reading and listening again and again every morning before we start facing the world of vasanas. Remember what Buddha said about the two arrows given to few sadhakas. The first arrow is what comes to you from the world. What world of vasanas throw at you? You have absolutely no control over this first arrow. But it does not end with that. The second arrow is most important. The second arrow is how you take what others are throwing at you. Every action we take, every thought we have, every emotion we feel has a ripple effect. It all matters and we are all affected. Nothing goes unnoticed. Each action sets a process in motion. If one's intentions are clean, inspiring, helpful, full of comparison, compassion and empathy, looking for the greater good, then these are all actions which come under all actions done, taken up with these pure intentions outlined now, they all come under the umbrella of good karma. And if intentions are bad, uninspiring, causing hindrance, to cheat, to betray, to cause harm, to humiliate, to belittle, then also looking out for just one's own self without thinking of what impact such actions with these intentions will have on the other person, then all actions done with these intentions will constitute bad karma. Whatever others have done to you, be it fueled by fear or anger or pride or guilt or shame or ego or ignorance or rudeness or without any empathy, without any love, it will all come back to them. It is their karma. It is often called divine justice. But remember, it is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is how you respond to others' actions. A saint speaks on the subject of being humiliated by others. He speaks in Hindi, it is translated. A beautiful small talk. He starts with a straight question. After telling that, yes, we often face humiliations, apman in Hindi. And then he asks whom they are insulting. He asks us to put this question to ourselves. Whom are they insulting? Are they insulting the real Prabhu in me, or they are insulting the Deha Prabhu, that is the BMI? Which of the two they are insulting? Can the God within me ever be insulted or humiliated by anybody? He goes on to say, God tests his true bhakta by creating such situations, by making others insult him, and by throwing all kinds of challenges. We call God as Leeladhari, correct? The saint says, Bhagwan keeps testing his bhakta more and more. You succeed in one test, he will give you double test. You succeed in that, he will give you 4 times more than that test. In the form of censure, criticisms, humiliations, all these things. And he asks, from that grip of God, from his tests, where will a bhakta run? Wherever you go, you change your place, change your appearance, change your job, change anything. But all these things, these challenges, this disrespect, censure, humiliations, they will continue to be after you. But God will never leave you. You are in God's grip, and God is also in your grip. God is also tied to you. How? God is tied to you because He doesn't want to leave you till the time He transforms you totally. He tells in Hindi, ये फसाई दोनों तरफ से है. Both are tied to each other. At last, when God is convinced that this bhakta is unshaken in all tests given by me, God says, come to me. He hugged his bhakta and says, you are mine. Like we learned in the satsang talk on the Dinad Kyose, on whatever we learned in that talk on Sai Mera, मैं तेरा, ये प्रेम की बहती धारा. What God does to such a devotee, the saint continues. He keeps ultimately, after he is convinced about the bhaktas, true bhakti, he keeps that devotee in such a state of ananda that no duality in the world can affect him. All Leelas of Prabhu is aimed at only this last grace of endowing everlasting ananda to his sincere devotee. And in fact, he starts his satsang with this line, but it is given here as the concluding part of the saint's talk because this is most relevant. Most relevant. If only we can appreciate, we can understand this. He says, nothing can elevate you than the insults you face, though you may be a pure-hearted soul. Such insults are grand opportunities for you to reach to the highest level in your spiritual sadhana and be accepted by God. He says, इस अपमान से जो जिस ऊंचाई पे तुम पहुंचोगे वो 10-20 साल के साधना से भी नहीं पहुंच पाओगे शायद. He says, you will reach to such a height through these insults and humiliations, which perhaps you might not be able to achieve even with your years of rigorous sadhana. Moving forward, coming back to the subject of others hurting you. The moment you let go of judging others and drop your expectations, thoughts, and opinions about them, you set them free from the imaginary jail in your mind. And also, it doesn't end there. You set yourself free also. Now you can consciously choose to respond from your heart or tap into that more loving, compassionate, or kinder side of yourself. This is where personal karmic responsibility comes into play. A must have emotional self mastery skill. If we sit before the Lord's idol or photograph and light a lamp and think what that saint said, in the regular sadhana, we may be moving at with a limited speed, maybe a tortoise speed, slowly, slowly, slowly. But when someone really hurts you, shatters you, and it comes from most unexpected quarters, unexpected beings, earth shattering humiliations at a grosser or a subtler level, then what happens? That is the time you really, from the core of your heart, you get connected with God. First, maybe as a blame or a question to God, why this is happening to me. But then such humiliations makes you realize, which 10 years of sadhana may not be able to make you realize. It makes you realize that there is nobody other than God for you. And you get so close to God, perhaps that closeness you might have never attained before. You start communicating with God every minute. And the connectivity is established 24 by 7. How much the other person has done good to you by hurting you. He has taken you so near to God, nearest to God, or can we say to merger with God, which might not have happened otherwise. Moving on, when someone's actions or inactions stir up emotional discomfort or pain within you, take a deep breath and let yourself feel those emotions completely. Sit with it until it naturally fades away. Everything has to go. That is the law of nature. And you will find yourself feeling neutral about the whole situation. This neutral space opens up the opportunity for a perspective shift. Now consider this person or situation as a valuable gift from life. There is a profound lesson to be learned, or some inner healing is waiting for you. From a place of appreciation and neutrality, ask yourself, what would I like to create instead, given what just happened to me? How can I respond in a loving, compassionate, or assertive way? Speaking about compassion or forgiving, yes, it is easier said than done, but forgiveness is the key to healing. If you cannot forgive today, at least set the intention to forgive gradually. It does not matter how tragic or traumatic your experience has been because of the other person. You must forgive him not for himself, but for yourself. You will feel like a heavy weight has been lifted from your shoulders. You can show others who are hurting that forgiveness, understanding, love, and compassion are possible even after you have been hurt. And in doing so, you can help make the world a less hurtful place. How beautiful. Next question. What can I learn about myself from this person or situation? What healing are they facilitating in me? Next, in what ways I am being called to grow, change, or embrace something different? Next, what positive karma do I want to generate instead? The answers you uncover will liberate you from negative karma and set the other person free from the prison you have created. You have jailed him in the prison of your mind. Answering to the above questions with which we started, to the initial questions with which we started, yes, it is some past karma due to which even a pure-hearted soul, even a realized master, sometimes has to face humiliation. He may not know about the past karmic action, especially a realized master, because as we learnt in the Viveka Chudamani, one commentary of Chenmayananda ji, for a verse, it will come gradually in the block as we move forward to other verses, more verses. When what he says is that the moment of realization is a rebirth for a seer. He forgets all his past. So, in this life itself, if he has forgotten his past, he would not remember his previous births, what he has done. But yes, if he is hurt, then definitely it is due to some karmic balance he is carrying with himself, for which he has got hurt. With that, that balance has got cleared. But for him, no insult, no harm can shatter him for long. Momentarily, he may also be shattered because he has a mind. He is a human being, but it cannot shatter him. It cannot bring in any reaction from him. At least, definitely no negative reaction from his side. But one thing he has to believe, every pure soul has to believe, that no harm can come to me without a karmic balance, even after my realization. Like a potter's wheel on the move, even after the potter has stopped working on making pots, that moment is my prarabdha still causing all these hurts to me. If he suffers due to physical ailment, then it is his personal karma. It does not have to do with any other's karma. But if he feels hurt, carries the load of hurt in the process, reacts to others hurting him through counteractions or words, then he he has suffered due to his karma through the insults. But if he reacts, he adds further to his karma. But if he is insulted or humiliated by others due to their ego, their pride, their power, their vasanas, whatever, and he does not take the humiliation within, and if he does not react to that, then such acts which caused humiliation from their side to him, unfortunately, will get added to their karma. It cannot be avoided at all. At the highest level, of course, any pain, any hurt feeling can arise only in one's mind. Whatever physical ailment one may have, even cancer, he does not feel the pain in his deep sleep because his mind does not function in his deep sleep. Even in waking state, when a devotee of Swami sits in the Sai Kulwant hall and is absorbed in bhajans or in one's past experience with Swami, past time with Swami, while Swami was in form, or in case of a sincere disciple with his eyes closed, listening to his guru's discourse. Or a bhakta immersed in devotion standing in sanctum sanctorum in a temple. All of them cannot feel their physical pain even due to cancer. Because in all these situations, the mind is experience so much joy, so much peace that that joy has overpowered the physical pain. Sometimes when the wound is fresh. Wound means of being hurt. The humiliation is fresh. Such elevated thoughts may not flash at that moment. In those moments, following are some of the ready-made aids. Take a deep breath. Think, if I react, I will add more karma. What I have got is definitely due to my past karma. No one can give me pain if all my karmas are exhausted. So this is also a part of clearing my prarabdha karma. Asserting yourself the above lines loudly, immerse in divine thoughts. Your moments with Sai or your chosen God. Connecting with Sai as per the one of the latest recent talks given on the 1st of January. Or most striking lines from your Guru's sessions. Or easier most weapon to deal with the hurt feeling. Sing bhajans. Along with singing, dwell on the inner meaning of bhajan. For some of you, the Samarpan booklet has all of them, the with the interpretation, transliteration, and commentary. Ready-made, which you can go through while singing few bhajans from the booklet. At last, he is leaving you with this thought. After assimilating every word spoken today, shared with you today out of sheer love, after absorbing the essence of the entire talk or entire sharing, is there someone still whom you have been keeping locked up in the prison of your mind? It is, if so, how about offering them your heart and setting them free? Not just for their sake, but so that you too can be free. Totally, totally free. What they have done to you, don't even think. Don't even think about how it will come back to them. That is between God and them. You set themselves free and you set yourself also totally free. And immerse in what? The greatest gift which we Sai devotees have. Immerse in Anandame Saina. Adbhutame Sai. Akhandame Jyotirmaya. Sundarame Sai Rupame. Ati Sundarame Satya Sai. What more do we? Let us be free, free today, my dear brothers and sisters, from all feelings of hurt, from all feelings of humiliations, which we have had till now in our life. Previous birth, we don't know what all we carried. Let us be totally, totally free. This comes to you from someone who is totally, totally free from all the hurt feelings, all the humiliations from childhood until Swami says, practice before you preach. He has practiced, and hence he is not preaching you, he is sharing what he has practiced and what is the process which he went through and what is the culmination, what is the happy ending of the movie. Always the movie has to end in a happier note with the hero, heroine joining together. In our case, with V and Sai merging. And thereafter, they lived happily forever. Sai and we live happily forever. Jai Sai Ram.